Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Titans Season 4, Episode 2, Mother Mayhem. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, if you can, please hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you like, you can hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you feel lucky or you feel like gambling, you hit that bell down below. YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. So best thing to do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right. Let's get to it, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Giving you enough time to run away, do whatever you need to do. All right. So I was wrong in the last episode there. Lex Luthor with Titus Welliver in it. They did only have him for one episode. So I guess they were told they can only use Lex Luthor for one episode. That's it. So how do you get rid of Lex Luthor? Yeah, kill him. Yeah, I guess there was an interview with the showrunner, and he mentioned that they only were able to get Lex Luthor for one episode. And no, he didn't read the script. It was that was the higher up saying that you can only use Lex Luthor for one episode. So yeah, okay. Yeah, this is their final season. You can totally tell this is the final season of this. Um, this has death knell written all over it, unfortunately, and yeah, they're not going out too well either. So I am rarely wrong, but this one I was wrong. So yeah, go figure. Um, this episode we find out what the bone face dude was all about. I forgot to mention the bone face dude in the first episode. Uh, killing freezing the dude and then killing the woman. And he does the same thing in this episode where he freezes the dude, um, kills the woman, and then there is a daughter that they have that I guess he puts her into a nightmare kind of thing, nightmare state, and Raven, when she's actually investigating where Lex had been killed and everything, is actually, she sees that house and goes back to that house. They find the little girl. She's able to get the girl out of the nightmare and kind of can track down where this dude is what he's doing, where he is. Um, so um, when she goes to grab him, I guess you can say, and unmask him, he self-immolates. He catches on fire and basically kills himself. In the meantime, Starfire is going through a different end. She's trying to find out, well, I should say previously, Starfire was actually she found the last member of Luthor Corps who didn't die, or LexCorp, excuse me, not Luthor Corps, LexCorp. And because everyone in LexCorp died the same way that Lex did, which you would think if everyone died the same way that Lex did, Superboy would not be a prime suspect at that point. So why was Metropolis PD still holding on to Superboy for Lex's death just because he happened to be in the same room? Were they doing the same thing for the same people that, of all the LexCorp employees that died the exact same way? Um, yeah, this show does not make any sense really most of the time. So, in the meantime, Gar is hearing voices and passing out, and then I guess he was trying to train Tim at some point in the forest. I don't know exactly what they were doing. Tim's kind of a wasted commodity at the moment. He's just an extra body that's there, and he's more in the way than anything else. So yeah, so Superboy gets exonerated. They get him out of jail. They're leaving Metropolis because the Superboy says, "I never want to come back to Metropolis ever again." And as they're leaving, they run into Mother Mayhem, who's out on the freeway. She's just standing out there in the middle of the freeway with a gigantic staff that has lightning in it. And her and Raven tussle for a second, and she siphons all of Raven's well, basically she siphons Trigon out of Raven's, the little so that little crystal that is on Raven's forehead is actually Trigon trapped in that crystal, her father being trapped in that crystal. That's also where she's drawing some of her powers from. So uh essentially what Mother Mayhem has done is has taken Trigon into her scepter, and that's why Raven's hair turns white. She becomes White Raven at that point. Yeah, it's comic book lore. They're kind of rushing things a little bit here. Um, and she goes back to the temple of Azeroth, and all the followers there are chanting Azeroth Metreon Zinthos, which is, if you've ever watched Teen Titans Go or seen anything with Teen Titans, you know that is Raven, how she conjures up spells as Azeroth Metreon Zinthos. And those are the three. Uh, if I remember correctly, it's the three worlds that uh, are supposed to be good magic. You remember Dick was talking about good magic, that there's good magic and there's bad magic. He was talking to the little girl about this. So that is where Raven is trying to draw her power from, is from good magic. And those are the three realms of good magic that she is calling on to draw her powers. And uh, having, at least that's what I remember. I'm probably wrong on this because it's been a while, but yeah, they are obviously not calling on those powers for good in the Temple of Azeroth. There, they are actually calling on it to most likely release Trigon again. I'm hoping if they're going to release Trigon, they actually do it right this time and not have Akiva Goldsman be anywhere near this, because obviously it's going to suck balls if he does. Um, Penn says Superboy was obviously not involved and had better ways to kill. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could have basically turned him to ash. There would have been no body. So, I mean, come on. Yeah, it was kind of stupid. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where we leave off on this episode with. Oh, and then there's also Mr. Sang, Sanger. There we go, who of course turns into Brother Blood, who his mom dies. Obviously, Mother Mayhem is the one that kind of kills her because she's there dressed as a nurse and she's pushing him over the edge there. Um, and he starts having visions of the board members of this video game company that he's pitching his game to, all drenched in blood. And he leaves because he's just all kinds of freaking out or whatever. And obviously there's something else that's happening with him, and we know that he ends up turning into Brother Blood. So yeah, this is going this is taking the source material from the comics and even from the cartoon itself, and really bastardizing it to the point where it's like, what are you guys doing with this? This is like, um I feel almost like David S. Goyer is manipulating things behind the scenes because of how bad it actually is. And that's usually what David S. Goyer does. He's like, hey, let me take this, DC canon and fuck with it in such a way that it's going to piss off fans, and it's also going to piss off people who don't know anything about the background anyway because it's so stupid. And that's pretty much what he does with a lot of DC lore. Because as he says, fuck the fans. That's usually his MO, is fuck the fans. And you can totally tell that's what you're getting out of this story. It's a very big fuck you to the fans. And yeah. The second episode, I agree with you, Marks. It was crap. So yeah. And that's pretty much where we leave off in this episode. Uh I don't have high hopes for this series going out on a high note. There's only 7 episodes in season 4. And this is going to be the final 7 episodes. What I'm thinking. I'm fairly sure they're going to either announce midway through or at least by the end of the season that this is canceled. I mean, for God's sakes, HBO Max canceled Westworld. Do you think Titans is going to actually exist after this? I don't think so. Yeah. Mork says, I read Azeroth was her birthplace, Metreon her real name, and Zinthos, I have no clue. Yeah. I think it's her mother's birthplace is Zinthos or something like that. Yeah. But it changes depending on the writer, Morks, quite honestly, what Azeroth, Metreon, Zinthos is. There's been like 4 different versions of it, and yeah, I never know which one is which anymore. That's why I don't remember it, and I don't commit it to memory at any point in time. DC lore tends to change quite frequently. At least Marvel lore, when it does change, it's still kind of hews close to whatever it was to begin with. There's very little deviation from what the original was. DC lore just kind of goes whoop everywhere. So yeah. So that's where we kind of left off on this. Not a great episode. Again, Gar didn't morph into any creature because they don't have the budget for it. Superboy didn't use any powers because again they didn't have the budget for it. Starfire doesn't fly because they don't have the budget for it. Yeah, it's pretty much superpowers in name only, really, is what this is. Penn says they can't ruin their track record by going out strong. Yeah, I know. More because I like the original Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. This aberration to me doesn't exist. Yeah, I also like Young Justice as well. Young Justice is actually pretty good, but that's not coming back. So Young Justice just had episode or season 4, I believe, is what it was, and they just announced that that is done. That it's not coming back. And again, this is all HBO Max, so not a surprise that that's not coming back. Also, it's just crazy uber expensive right now for them to try and even start up the animation again. So I'm not surprised that's not coming back under Zaslav. Zaslav is just killing everything. But I mean, hopefully DC is going to be starting from scratch, and under James Gunn and Peter Saffron. I don't know. So yeah, they should be good. So with that said, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, right after this, where are we? I'm gonna say around 6:15ish. I'm gonna do the Peripheral episode 4. I missed last night's. There was just too much shit going on, and I needed to focus on that before I could actually do anything else. So we're gonna do the Peripheral episode 4 right after this. Tomorrow is going to be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and genre stuff you guys want to talk about. We talk about it. Monday, I'm going to be off. Tuesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I don't know what it's going to be as of yet. It could be Is It Worth My Time? It could be spoiler alert, either one at this point. I'm not sure which one I'm going for at the moment. And Wednesday, I'm going to be off. And then Thursday, Thursday is the 10th, correct? Yeah. So Thursday, I'm actually going to go and see Black Panther 2. I have tickets to go and see Black Panther 2 on Thursday. So I'm going to be off on Thursday as well. And then Friday is most likely going to be a doubleheader of, actually, no. Friday is going to be the Peripheral. And then I'm going to go back to Saturday with Titans episode 3. Yeah, just take a look at the schedule over at Suspended Fanimation as Penn just put up there. Then you'll see where everything's at. Just too much stuff coming down the pipe here and not enough time in the day and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. You're going to rejoice in its demise. Are you going to dance on its grave, Morks? Is that what you're going to do? I am going to be peeing on the grave actually afterwards, but that's just me. Especially if Akiva Goldsman is right underneath it. But again, he kind of likes that thing anyway. So probably not. Yeah. Anyway, with that said, thank you to everybody joining me tonight in the chat, and thank you for making it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, you know who you are out there. Take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule. I put it up there every week. And also, I have all the links to my social media there, all the links to my pages, and all the future stuff that's coming out. I have it, not everything on there, but I have a good majority of stuff that's on there that's scheduled out till next year there. So 6:15-ish, I'm going to do the peripheral episode 4. If you want to stick around until then. Otherwise, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you might end up getting your power siphoned by some woman standing in the middle of the freeway with a gigantic hockey stick that emits lightning. You really don't want that because you don't know where that lightning's been. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again in about half an hour here. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. They don't work without the boosters. And stay safe out there, everyone. See you in a little bit. Have a good night, everyone.